Welcome to The Explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled to have you here today. Look, if you're into sports, high-stakes competition, and the just totally incredible ways the modern creator economy is reinventing how we consume entertainment, well, you're in the perfect place. Today, we're breaking down this massive, super high-stakes football challenge orchestrated by YouTube powerhouse Slin. She essentially gamified the entire process of building a World Cup dream team, going head-to-head against a challenger named Cone. And honestly, it's a total masterclass in sports entertainment, testing both physical accuracy and sheer mental endurance.
56.3 million. Let that sink in for a second. That is Slin Depp's subscriber count. I mean, to put that into perspective, that is literally more than the population of plenty of countries. Her reach in the creator space is just undeniable. And the specific challenge we're analyzing today, it generated a staggering 2.6 million views in just its first 6 days. So we're not talking about some casual backyard kickabout here. This is premium, broadcast-level sports entertainment completely scaled up for a digital audience. The pressure is incredibly real, and the audience is watching every single strike.
Okay, let's dive into this, because the central premise here is as brilliant as it is demanding. Can you actually build a World Cup winning caliber team simply by hitting a shirt hanging in a goal? Slin took the standard fantasy sports draft and turned it into a grueling physical skill challenge. You don't get to just sit back and pick your favorite player from a screen. You literally have to earn them with your feet. The tension this creates is palpable, shifting the power entirely away from pure luck or deep pockets straight to raw on-the-pitch talent.
Welcome to the challenge and the rules.
So here's how this 10-round gauntlet actually works. Step 1, you have to accurately hit a specific player's shirt that's suspended in the goal. Step 2, if you hit it, boom, you unlock that player for your squad. Step 3, outdraft your opponent to build the ultimate team and win the Hit the Shirt World Cup. It sounds pretty simple on paper, right? But when you start factoring in the fatigue, the immense pressure, and the caliber of players on the line, man, every single strike carries massive weight. The literal stakes of this drafting process mean every kick has championship implications.
Section 2. Early gambles and drafts.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the incredible mix of talent they were shooting for right out of the gate here. Round 1 kicked off with strikes for Real Madrid's Eduardo Camavinga and Brazil's Richarlison. But then, in round 2, we start to see some fascinating strategy. You've got the super reliable World Cup pedigree of Alexis Mac Allister juxtaposed against the risky Pablo gamble. And by round 3, the heavy hitters arrived, featuring Riyad Mahrez and the absolute legend Robert Lewandowski. The pressure to secure these world-class attackers right from the start just set an incredibly aggressive tone for the whole match.
But hey, a team isn't just attackers, right? Round 4 introduced this massive micro cliffhanger with the goalkeeper card reveal, because you absolutely cannot win a World Cup without a brick wall in the net. Suddenly, Slin and Cone found themselves fighting for the defensive backbones of their squads. Liverpool's Alisson against Real Madrid's Thibaut Courtois. Hitting the target here wasn't just about adding another player. It was about ensuring you didn't leave your goal entirely exposed for the rest of the tournament. The tension in this round was absolutely pivotal.
Section 3. Juggling, dizziness, and twists.
The escalation here is just intense. Round 5 threw them right into a juggling challenge to win phenomenal fullbacks like Achraf Hakimi and Dani Carvajal. Just imagine the sheer concentration required to keep that ball up when a world-class defender is on the line. Then, round 6 cranks the chaos all the way up with dizzy penalties. The complete stumbling disorientation of spinning around before trying to strike a precise target, it fundamentally broke their rhythm. It wasn't even just about football anymore. It was about sheer willpower and overcoming intense physical sensory overload.
And honestly, this brilliantly illustrates the dynamic nature of these creator challenges. Right in the middle of those stumbling, dizzy penalties, a twist card was introduced. And not just any card. It featured the young Spanish sensation Lamine Yamal. Suddenly, while the competitors could barely even see straight, they were presented with the opportunity to draft one of the most highly coveted teenage prospects in world football. It's just a perfect example of keeping both the competitors and us, the viewers, completely on our toes.
Which brings us to round 7's spin the wheel mechanic. So, the crucial point is, when you introduce a totally randomized wheel into a skill challenge, the anxiety spikes completely off the charts. And the prize waiting on that wheel? None other than Cristiano Ronaldo. I want you to pause and just imagine that suspense. One of the ultimate, undisputed GOATs of football. You've been battling fatigue, dizziness, and these intense accuracy challenges. And suddenly, the chance to secure Ronaldo comes down to a spinning wheel. There's just no way to understate how heavy the drama was here.
Then, round 8 introduced a wicked psychological element, shooting for each other. Slin and Cone had to step up and potentially win the Spanish midfield maestro, Isco, but with a major catch, they were shooting for their opponent's squad. Do you intentionally miss and risk looking totally foolish, or do you try to hit the target and inadvertently strengthen your rival's team? It's a brilliant mind game that adds a whole layer of chess to this footballing gauntlet. It tested their nerve just as much as their technique.
Let's move to and see how this builds in Section 4, Drafting the Football Legends.
Round 9 hit the competitors with the final mystery cards. The reveal? Massive defensive upgrades, David Alaba and Virgil van Dijk. At this late stage in the gauntlet, locking down a defensive titan like Van Dijk or a super versatile powerhouse like Alaba is a total game changer. The stakes were raised exponentially here. You can have all the firepower in the world, but if you fail to secure a legendary center back in the penultimate round, your entire World Cup campaign is at risk.
And that sets the stage for round 10, the ultimate attackers. Lionel Messi, Neymar Jr., the absolute crown jewels of any football team. But, of course, there was a catch. They couldn't just shoot for them, they had to use a high-stakes headers mechanic. Precision headers are notoriously difficult, requiring perfect timing and neck strength, all while completely exhausted at the end of a 10-round gauntlet. But this was literally the only way to draft these legendary attackers to complete the squads. The physical toll and the immense tension of trying to head a ball perfectly to secure Messi or Neymar was just peak sports drama.
Section 5. The Ultimate Globe Spin.
The entire tournament culminated in the World Cup globe spin. After all the juggling, the dizzy penalties, the precision headers, and those strategic mind games, the final dramatic mechanic stripped away the skill completely. A literal spin of the globe would ultimately decide the winner of the entire 10-round gauntlet, leading right up to the final trophy presentation. It is a wild, unpredictable finish that literally keeps viewers watching right up until the very last frame.
Which leaves us with this final, really provocative thought to ponder. We watched these creators battle through intense physical skill challenges, testing their raw football talent round after round after round. Yet, the grand finale introduced an element of pure, unadulterated chance. So, in this incredible creator economy tournament, and perhaps in football itself, does luck or skill ultimately win the game? It's a fascinating balance, isn't it? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I highly encourage you to think about how mechanics like this change the way we view competition. Keep learning, keep watching, and I'll catch you next time.